been, but nah, I had a phone call. I joined, and then like literally, shit was just buzzing off.
Alright. Boot, do you want to play
Yeah.
again or observe?
No,
I'd
maybe
say that he should
let's try
observe.
one more time. Okay. Let's observe this one.
Just like in FAF, you're gonna want to hold down Shift while you watch. Focus on Alpha Hex on his build.
If you hold down Shift, you can see, yeah,
The move
what I'm
commands,
queuing
just
up.
like in FAF. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I wouldn't recommend starting with the research station. It's a pretty big investment, and even on the like, this isn't a small map. It's also not a big map, but like even here, one research station does not work on the high level.
Mhm.
Like against weaker players, maybe, but I wouldn't be learning stuff that like kind of assumes that your opponent is bad.
Mhm.
Also press F2.
And yeah, the benefits of starting with an air factory are pretty good. Like, not only do you get to see what your opponent started with,
Mhm.
but like even if you stop after 2 or 3 airplanes, if they build more than 2 anti-air towers, or maybe 3, you basically profit. So you can like even stop airplane production if you see them making too much anti-air.
Yeah, I see. Because a little bit costly.
And it's also probably not a good idea to build like extra engineers. Like with 2, you can just eat up the entire map without any problems. You definitely want to build some later, but it's like 10-15 minutes into the game, or
Okay.
unless some of them die. I should be like 2 planes ahead already. Alright, no boats on the flanks. Radar's pretty important.
Oh.
And yeah, since we're both going for the same build, I can definitely expand a lot more aggressively here. But what you're gonna see a lot of people with this build do is they don't go beyond this point. Like they stay as far back as possible to like increase the distance between like the bases, because it does take like a little bit for like the airplanes to pay off. Like 3 or 4 airplanes in the start aren't gonna be very strong, but like once you start, once you have like 10, 15 planes, they can take out stuff pretty easily. 20 planes can like one pass an anti-air tower.
Mhm.
That's an engineer on the right. I wonder if he stopped making planes. I don't see anything coming out of the factory. But, oh, there's a plane. Yep. He shouldn't have turned around like that. Like, airplanes can't shoot backwards. I did get a bit unlucky on the engagement, though. But yeah, you always want to make sure, like, the airplanes are facing, the enemy.
I see. So, pretty basic, like in Supremos, you catch
Yeah.
a tail, so you
Yeah,
need.
if I remember right, in FAF you kind of just like move them around in a circle though, but here you can like make them attack the ground and they will like automatically target whatever's near. And yeah, like I did lose like one plane. Yeah, I'm like one plane behind, but for the price of that I killed like 2 mass extractors and his engineers, so it's gonna be rough. Like I just have to play defense a little bit and I should be ahead on everything. Sucks that I don't have anything to assist the air factory, but yeah, like the engineer is basically the price of an airplane, so it wouldn't really work out. Counterproductive.
Yeah, only Sphinx is a little bit sucks when you observe and you don't have much intel about income and building
Yeah, it
all the
is
stats
unfortunate. We
factory.
are working on like tools to fix that though, but the problem is it is a
Had
bit
to modify.
limited at the moment. Yeah, like mods. Like that can be modded back in, and it is what we're doing right now, but it is just like people doing it in their free time, and people are busy, so it is taking a
Yeah,
while.
all people busy.
Get to work, Alpha. You can use it as a resume stuffer.
Proto put it on his resume, like all the SE2 shit he did, which is pretty
Yeah,
funny
I
on
would.
LinkedIn.
That's great. I mean, you need a project. Why not?
Yeah, I think I already have enough, on there.
I'm
I'm gonna
sure.
like talk about stuff on the internet.
Well, you can be
What
like,
stays, what happens in the Discord server stays on the Discord server.
oh, not only that, but you could also be like, thousands of people use my product.
Oh yeah. Yo, you should look at the rounds mod. It has 100,000 downloads. More, it's like more players than SC2. Shitty mod for a shitty game. Alright, I'm ahead on everything here, so I can just like start leaving. But yeah, you see he's kind of like threatening to bomb, but he can't really afford to bomb because then I just shoot his planes from the side. As long as the planes are like near, it's fine.
Yeah.
And he messed up. Like my bots on the right are gonna get to that mass before he can like react to it. Cybern can also get like an ability to suicide their structures, but it's not worth the
Oh,
research. Like you just go for Megalith or whatever. Like I would be happy if
yeah.
I see him research that.
Research stuff is very
Yeah, and I just got
cool.
like all
Cool
of his
game
planes
design
from the
idea.
back.
Yeah.
It is very different, and that's what people didn't like. Like that's partly why this game has less players. Like they just wanted the same thing with O2 on the box.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to all player base in all games. I
Yeah.
think, especially when it's multiplayer, you want
Oh, yeah, he does it.
if you want to be a good, you're easier to adapt when you some things are predictable.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, now that I have more airplanes, I can just like start picking things off. Like it's not really economically possible to like cover the entire map with anti-air.
Yeah, I see. This is
The towers are very
works
expensive.
very different because at Supreme in FAF we usually change a lot of stuff at balance. Sometimes something
Yeah,
a
they like
little
keeping
bit.
it fresh just by like changing things, changing the meta. But here the meta has been the same for quite some
decade.
time. So people have it, figured out. It has its like
Yeah.
upsides and downsides. Like you don't have to relearn the game when you come back after like years. It's still the same game, and if you're good at it, then
Yeah, it's true.
the skill ceiling is pretty high. Instead of like coming back and like, oh no, your like the favorite thing you were using is just
It's
no
just
longer
Nerfed
useful.
shit.
So now you have to just play another way.
This is true.
And yeah, like around here is the point where you want to start making research stations, especially if you're ahead. But usually, like the small land units are uh, more important in the start because you just get overwhelmed if you have less.
I'm quite curious how this point system works when you get more points. If you are dying
Um,
in your units fights or you killing something and you
yeah,
gain
when you're
more.
killing stuff, you get some extra points. It's not a lot, but it's very noticeable. And also like the most common source of like reports of people cheating when they're not. Because
Yeah,
if
that's also why people aren't building research stations in the beginning because it's too easy to just get that with points by killing shit. You want
yeah,
to take territory like you would in FAF.
Mhm.
Not
if you
as
have
aggressively, but there's like a timing to it.
If you have like way less units, the other person's just gonna have way more mass extractors, and they're just gonna catch up on the research later anyway. Like on some maps, it's really good, especially in team games, but not in one
Yeah,
ones.
I know. Yeah, this is why I like to fresh things and playing both modes, VV1 and custom team games, because it's
Mhm.
two different style to play in. This is why, for example, last changes at Fafladder is very quite good. Right now, it's a very popular V3 free, and plus all maps are generated. So
Yeah, like randomly generated maps.
yeah, so it's you easily can understand the player. Is he good at a specific map, or he generally good player
Mhm.
and understand game better.
Yeah, you look at their history and it's nothing but like hundreds of games of
Dual
Seton's
gap.
Dual Gap too.
Yeah, Astrocrater Dual Gap are still hosted in every fucking day. Citizens are less, because I quite a little bit familiar right now with some older players who was like 1300 and higher. So were quite nice. Some of them not. But generally, most of them are also like you, were friendly when I can advise you something to improve yourself.
Yeah, I think Marlon would
But if you're
disagree with
quite new,
the
it's
recent
hard to,
screenshots.
yeah. Because right now at FAF I'm like 1200, 1300. Depends on how lucky I am in global games. So team games at ladder, it's more pure like 1k stable.